Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Yep,
Saturday night, back again.
back
Boom.
again.
Boy, oh boy. It feels like we were just here,
It
but
does. It's like
we a
just the
lot
weeks just keep clicking by.
a lot can happen in a week.
A lot can happen in a week, that is for sure. Yeah.
But I guess we got to address the elephant in the room. We are a live show right now, and we are half an hour late. And I have to take full blame for that one. I think the simplest message will always be preached and practiced by everyone. Family is always first.
Always.
And that took priority. But fortunately, with all the great stuff that you did today, with the taken, am I even pronouncing that right? Is it
Yeah.
that's
Taken.
simple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taken.
I mean, you had that out, and that other 3D printed one. Is that the only one from the Scale Builders Guild forum from that little build off? Is that the only one running?
No, I don't think so. And it's not a build off, it's a build along.
Okay.
So it's not
Okay.
a
Not a comp.
contest or anything like that. Um yeah. Mats is
Designed
Mats
to
is getting close.
inspire and help each other, I guess, correct? Like that's the
Right. Right.
concept.
Yeah. So it was on the Discord. It was a lot of printer settings and materials and chassis choices and things like that because there's a lot that you can do. It is a builder's build along. Hey Harold, and it you know different people, different printers, different materials, and yeah. So just helping each other out.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
there's 100 times where something like that could be extremely
Oh yeah.
beneficial, inspiring, inspiring ideas. But what I cut you off. What did you say about Matt's?
Matt's is he's got his weathered down pretty good. I think he's got all the body done. I think he's down to painting his driver and little finishing details with the wheels and stuff like that. But he's getting pretty close to running. But he also has a lot of snow. So his comment to me was, "Where's all the snow?" And I said, "It took me hours to shovel all that out of the woods so I could run this truck." It's like you got to put forth the effort, man. If you want to run it, you're gonna have to work for it. So
Yeah, he did find a way to get that Helamon up and running in his unboxing. But yes, we saw it
yeah,
in the snow. Um,
yeah, yeah. He disassembled his like the transmission. He has it all disassembled, and he went to put it back together, and he was like, "I got to remember how I did this." So
we've
yeah,
been there before.
he took it apart on a live to kind of show everybody, what the inside of the transmission looks like, but he didn't put it back together on the live. So yeah, yeah, probably not the best bet, but I mean it's transmission. I mean it can only
That did not
that
go
nobody's ever seen
I
before, so
thought.
it can only go so many
I mean,
ways.
that was not great. That was that was far from graceful.
Yeah,
I was
no,
hoping I
pretty
was
good.
gonna slip that hat off with nobody noticing.
No, we all watched you.
That was a
Yeah,
disaster.
yeah.
Okay.
and
Um,
and he did do a great job on the video, as Harold said. He really
I
he
got to
really
go
dug
see it.
into it pretty good. Um,
Okay.
and one of the things that I didn't, um,
But why? Can you help me understand why
he,
that trans? Is it set up different? I
just,
don't.
he was just going. It's just a different new transmission. He wanted to show people that you could put the ASD in there, um, and kind of how it's assembled. That's you know
Okay,
it's helpful.
it is.
Yeah,
Um, and that, yeah, I definitely need to go back and watch that because if that is how they are going to control the front ASD, that is something.
yeah. So West Desert Wheeler actually did a really good job showing. Uh, he put two front axles on his, so he
Well,
has rear steer. And one of my questions was, well, if you're putting the front axle on, you got to open it up anyway. It comes in a pre-made package, but you have to open it up anyway. One, you got to grease it, and two, you got to flip the ring gear to make that axle rotate the opposite direction. And those axles have that ability. A few people had asked, they want to put a VFD transmission in it right off jump to smooth it out, which I don't know if that's necessary. I don't even know the final ratio of that transmission to know if it's a necessity or not. The motor already looks like it's pretty low, so but I digress. The transmission in the Hillman is counter rotating rear, so if you put a VFD in it, you'd have to flip that ring gear as well. So it has that ability, but then you might be looking at torque twist. So I don't know if putting a VFD in it is a great idea or a bad idea. I don't know. We'll let the hacks figure it out.
Yeah. Sometimes you experiment, but you truly start to appreciate the engineering that goes into an RTR very quickly and realize, holy crap, it was actually designed to work out of the box sometimes.
Yeah, and the ASD, me personally, the way I would drive it is I would put the ASD out of the rear axle and into the transmission to have front burn, rear dig, because my driving style in my area, that's what I think would work best. I don't know if the cutting brake system would benefit me as much, just running trails. So we'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
you know what's exciting? Let's do it. If we're gonna start off from the Hillman, can we talk KV motor?
Oh yeah.
Is that too fastball of a pitch out of the gate?
No, not at all. So a lot of people are exploring the new Hobby Wing 8-scale system, and people seem to be liking it, but nobody said that they loved it. They like it. The people that have them are, they were reviewed and whatever, and they didn't really have anything to put them in. So now they have something to put them in. So they're all like, yeah, this is the best thing since sliced bread. But, it comes down to what's the gearbox ratio. You only have two pinions, 14 and 18, to choose from to fit that truck, to my knowledge. And you're going to have to make decisions if you want to run a different system than that Hobby Wing brushless. I think somebody else, where did I see it? Somebody else put one of the big, it was West Desert Wheeler. Logan put in the big Holmes Outrunner. And I don't remember him mentioning the KV on that. Might have to go back and look at it, but it's a pretty small can on an Outrunner on a very big tire truck. And that's probably pushing the max, in my opinion, of an Outrunner with the big tires. So I'm a Castle guy. You're a Castle guy. So what does Castle recommend? Well, we're not there yet. So there's two different motors, definitely to try. The 1412 2100 kV and the 1415 2400 kV. And that's with a 5mm shaft rather than the 3.5mm shaft that comes in it. Why does that matter? Well, when you have that much rotational mass with 2.2s, 5mm shaft is really the way to go, in my opinion, and probably Thomas at Castles, because there's going to be a lot of load on it. So why risk it? People did it with the Rift when it first came out. They were putting in the 3mm shaft or 3.2mm shaft motors in the Rift, and they were snapping it right off. They were just snapping this right off the motor. and that's not a good idea. So 5 millimeter for big tires and effort. So now Harold says that he's waiting for the Holmes 2-in-1 to come out. Probably not the best compatible motor with this truck that we're talking about in the Helaman, but that one, I got respect for John for he's been working on that for years. I saw it a long time ago, 18 months or more ago, out at Key City Hobby when he was prototyping, and it worked really well then. And he's done more to it since, so that's pretty cool. I just don't know if it's the motor for the Helaman, but yeah. So Castle long cans, 14 series. It's a long can, so you got a lot more torque density. But I'm not going to talk geeky electronics. But
We can talk green and slate, and
yeah,
I can
yeah.
comment
So,
on the fact that this is the first green motor I've seen it in a while.
oh wow, yeah, yeah. So green motors are typically fast motors, and slate motors are typically crawler motors. There's different specs to them. Like you can get a green can 3800, and you can get a slate can 3800 motor in the 14 size, and they they're not the same. They're made to do different things. So um, I don't know if they'll slate a crawler motor for the Helaman, but anything's possible. But those green cans, they work, and it's the setup and the speed control. And while we're talking speed control, you don't need an 8 scale speed control. The Cobra 10 will handle those motors with ease. And you can put as many S's as you can fit in the front end of that truck on under the hood. So you want to run 4S, run 4S. The other big boy is the Reefs, the 1400 that I'm seeing people run on these trucks. Logan is running 1100, which is what I would run.
Is the 14 his newest one? Is that
That's the newest.
the newest?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is the big boy on the boulevard right now.
Honestly, that can be the only reason why to use it, because you have to admit at some point I feel it's
So
a bit
I mean,
much.
1400.
I know it's 2.2.
It's you're running a lot of metal axles and a lot of big tires in class 3 with rear steer. Direct power 900 LPs versus a 1400 is, are you going to run direct power or not? Or, what are you going to do with it? So there's a lot of decisions to be made there. But the 1400 is direct power, 4S, have a blast. I have 888s on 4S, 777s on 3S, 1100 right off the receiver at 8.4 volts. It's all in what you're running, what you think you need. If you want to break stuff, break stuff.
Well, regardless of the brand of servo that you decide to go with, this is going to be a servo rabbit hole. We are what, 4,
Yeah.
5 without even
Yeah.
trying.
So
I'm not saying it's a record breaker. I'm just saying it's another one of these 4, 2, 3, 4 easily servo winch, whole 9.
So yeah, if you want to start counting servos, so you got front steer, you can do rear steer. You have the ASD for the front and the rear,
Micro.
and possibly the center. So you're at 5 servos now. You throw a winch in there, and then you have throttle control. So now you're up to 7 channels. You're gonna run out of radio
Very quickly.
before you run out. Before you fill that thing up. But again, is it necessary to have all that stuff on there?
No.
Probably not. Definitely not.
It's
It
coming.
might be one person's idea of the perfect truck, but I've built an optic with the same craziness with 7 channels being used. And it was ridiculous, and it worked fantastic. no doubt about it. It was a fantastic vehicle, but completely unnecessary. Um,
I think it's a goal. I don't think,
yeah,
necessary.
yeah,
Prove it to yourself that it can be done. Yeah, we've seen plenty of the Phoenix. I've seen plenty of Phoenix done that way also.
yeah.
I
Phenom.
mean, honestly, that was the debate when the Phoenix came out along with the SCX6 and about that era timeline within months of each other.
Yeah,
Nobody wanted to stare down 1,000, $1,100 RTR. But
yeah,
honestly, after you sunk all the electronics into a Phoenix, you're right there. It
yeah,
was right there.
yeah. You're yeah. I mean, you put a VFD twin trans in an optic and four wheel steer. Yeah, you're there again.
Yeah.
Add cutting brake or ASD to that. I mean, you're that's a lot. But I did see that Axial has the so they have a different spring set for that ASD to run the stronger servos, which I found interesting. Um, so it's supposed to put up with the more power of those like the micro 179 or size, that strong of a servo. So they changed the springs inside of that ASD, which okay, um, good good on them for looking ahead early in, hey, these guys are going to throw power at it, and they already put a decent servo on that axle
On the
for
micro,
the
yes.
ASD.
But you hit on something last week, and that was critical for endpoints and
Yeah,
getting it set up. Um,
yeah,
that's
especially the guys that are going to run over and throw in a you know get a
micro. Oh,
DX6 rugged, and you don't know how to set up endpoints, and you change that radio over, you're gonna be buying a replacement servo until you figure out how to set your endpoints up. So there's a lot of great videos on Spectrum on YouTube to tell you how to set that radio up or any radio up for endpoints. So that's a must, or you're gonna be eating them big time.
so the big idea is by the time the Helimon is ready to drop
Hmm.
officially, pre-order started. By the time they start shipping out, Castle will definitely be ready to throw in some
Yep.
technical advisement as far as what they suggest. Depending on what you want to do with it, they'll at least have the KB, the pinion gear, all
Yeah.
the good stuff. Get you
Castle has a fantastic tool on their website, and it's to match your vehicle to a system that's known to fit and function, and give you a couple choices. So that
so you're
product
not
finder,
picking a KV in the dark. Like this is
correct? Yeah,
wow.
you're not just taking a shot. They've mapped out a lot of these popular platforms, and get you started. Like this size will fit, this size won't fit. If you use this, you'll need a different pinion too. Um, Matt sent me a picture of a radio of a Muse transmitter that's 10 channels, and it looks like the size of a palm of a hand. It's a very
Really,
small radio and relatively inexpensive. So
that's interesting. So they
I'm
can
waiting for his feedback on that to see if that's
thing.
a thing. Yeah, because I got a lot of trucks that need 10 channels. That'd be pretty cool. And it's got a lot of models. So, and the receivers are cheap. So, usually that triangle of cheap, good, fast, something has to
Um,
give.
yeah.
So,
Let me see here. I just jumped over to the Castle website real quick.
mhm.
Um, is it worth us going through here under product support? Do you know where we should I pull it up?
uh, off the top, if you just search, I'm trying to think of what the page is
Motion control
called. It's
products, Castle link,
they just
product support.
they just did an IG and a Facebook post on it here, I think today.
Oh, that might have been it.
Um, phew, man, I opened the search on my Instagram.
Yeah.
That's not for public viewing.
It's amazing what the wall will show you. Sometimes,
Yeah,
like, how on earth did
yeah.
this happen?
It's called a Surface Product Selector, and they're showing one for the CN truck, the
Oh
Sen,
yeah. Okay.
the short course and
Yep. Yep.
crawlers. Yeah, and they keep adding new stuff to it. So I don't know if it's really worth. People can just
Pulling
go
it up.
over there
Yeah.
or check out Castle's link on their IG.
10-4. It's cool. Definitely, it's there.
Yeah, they
That's a help. Uh,
yeah they help you with your pinion selection, your
yep.
KV selection, your purpose selection. So
Bravo. Well, that's exciting. So we're going to get in the Helaman. We're working servos. We're working motors. This thing's up and running. You've got options to do upgrades right out of the gate. Hey, we're off to a good start. I
yeah,
do have a photo of something cool.
yeah,
That was the notch on the side of the door panel.
yeah. Before we go to the notch, the
Okay.
Matt the he said the transmitter has Frogger installed, so when you're waiting in line at the comps,
Shut
you have
up.
something to do. So
That
as an
is
'80s guy, like
that's
growing up '70s,
hilarious.
'80s, Frogger's cool. Space Invaders is better, but Frogger would still be fun. So that's cool.
What was the radio that I had that you could go, like, basically it was like a phone. I could literally go on YouTube right from the phone. I think it was,
That's the Pro, the
but they
Spectrum.
discontinued it. The reason I got rid of it, like, all the technical support for that thing went out the window.
It's the 6 Pro. It's still viable.
I don't know if
It's
that
still
was,
viable. I have a
is
brand
it
new one sitting in a case.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah,
I,
you could literally, it was like a little
yeah,
phone
yeah. It's
basically
an
on top of the
Android
radio.
phone
Yeah.
and a radio. The IXR, the new one,
Yep.
is the same style. It's an Android based platform. So yeah, if anybody's looking for one of those radios, I got one. Brand new, factory serviced, still in the case.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
It's
that
got the
is,
latest and greatest on it.
heard it here. He's got it.
Yep.
Get
It's
you on the
available.
way with the 6 channel. And I'm telling you, it's like ease. The way you can set everything, it's stupid simple.
Yep.
Color screen, very cool.
So back to
Yes.
your Helaman Discovery.
Oh, okay. No, wait. Keep going. I got to pull it up.
Yeah. So Mike and I were chit chatting, and we were talking about the side panels and getting a wrap made, and there's like the little U shape on the bottom of the side panels. And I was like, yeah.
There.
And he didn't know what they were. I mean, man doesn't own a rock crawler, like a full size rock crawler. He doesn't go to Johnson Valley and King of Hammers and all that stuff. So I sent him a picture of uh, of
That's
Tomater, his green Jeep, which has that same cutout, and that's the step, so you can get in the buggy. So if you're wondering what that cutout is, that's the step hole. And if you're not in the rock crawling world, you probably wouldn't know about the step hole. But Mike was the first one to actually ask about it. Nobody else has really said much about it. So
well,
yeah.
and it only came about because I had one of the panels off and I was tracing it. And that's when it really jumps out at you. Like, what on earth?
Yeah.
Is this a blem? Did they literally mess this up and send it out? That was my fear. And that fear is kind of legitimate because I'm telling you, I am so freaking frustrated at some of the people on the internet that they do not hesitate to share their opinions, how they feel about any truck. I'm not talking just the Helaman. I'm talking everything that comes out. How do you sort through the nonsense and get people to look at it and stop being
Yeah. It, you know, opinions are like Mustangs in 1992. Everybody had one, and you just got tired of hearing it. So, just saying. That's still current with the Mustang stuff. But yeah, yeah, a lot of it, people, people are people. But
uh well, why I find this, the only thing I found right now is my drawing. I don't want to use that. I'm going to send over the other one that you sent me. We can use that. But yeah, so honestly, the scaleless thing that I've heard all week long is that Axial put the sidestep in their healing line. So,
yeah,
end of
yeah,
story. Bam.
yeah, it's
Uh,
pretty cool. And nobody else is really
and what,
embraced that
right. Well, once I came
detail.
out with that, I pointed out the detail that the driver heads were different. You're like, yeah,
Yeah,
which one's the boy and the girl? And if you look closer at it,
yeah,
it actually has a chest and
mhm,
thicker hips. Like they work this kind of detail,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Axial's stance on it is absolutely hilarious because they do think like a rock crawler like that might be a little bit more edgier, and he feels like they were going after the chicks with the really big pants. They could have gone bigger, rock crawling guys.
Well, so many people are going to put Josh Steed's head on that side. So,
So at least
it.
it's we can blend it.
Have you seen him in a t-shirt? Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, sugar. Yeah,
Yeah. It's not a call out.
not a call out.
Don't be sending clips.
Did you see him in the t-shirt?
It's the last thing I need.
Yeah. Uh, so the only other thing, I wanted to slide over to the 3D print. I know you had a chance to run it today. How did it? And was that the maiden run?
So yes, this was for the Volvo's the C303. Just so you guys know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Oh, it's this one, the Imagine build along. So I will describe it as a half cooked piece of pasta and a mountain goat, like perfect mix. So it was fun as hell. I really thought it was going to be floppy all over the place because it's pretty loose. It's pretty, it's a 3D printed ABS body on top of a VS 410 chassis with VRD carbon shock set on it with the red springs. So it's pretty light sprung. And I thought it was going to be flippy. And I was really surprised. That thing was very sure footed. It flexed like all over the place. I mean, it looked like a Volvo rolling through the woods. Like it was just all over the place. Tire stayed on the ground. I flopped it over on its side one time, and if you if you're sub to my channel, you'll see it tomorrow morning at 8. That's when the video for that one drops. So it's just a running video. I'm not
Okay.
talking in it at all. So just
Gotcha.
enjoy the sound of crunching leaves, and enjoy watching a floppy truck do floppy things perfectly. And I ran 2 trucks today, and they couldn't have been more opposite in nature.
Right. Oh, that's a fact.
And it made it fun, right? Because it's not like running the same truck twice. It was, this thing is a it feels like it's 2 feet long, like it's driving a yardstick on 2 twos. And it's not like fast, but it's quick. It'll throw dirt, but then this thing is like crawler slow, like it's in low range. So yeah, it was definitely different. And this dang thing, when the sun catches those iridium windows, like just blinds you. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can see it reflecting on the trees. You can see the window reflections and stuff. But it catches in that sun, and it's like, wow. get you. But yeah, she was a joy to drive, and its inaugural run as well. So 2 fresh run trucks on the same day is pretty good coming out of the winter here. So pretty exciting.
That is very, very cool.
Yeah, look at that noodle. I mean, it just I don't understand it. I'm not going to mess with it either. I was pleasantly surprised at how well it did. It needs a little 3-link adjustment on the front end, but beautiful.
So if we use your Instagram page here, kind of as a checklist, uh,
Okay, yeah, it's a good timeline.
uh, you want to jump around? We can go scale by Chris. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So scale by Chris, and this is that F450 bed is his design, and he partnered up with Night Customs to exclusively offer this as a print it yourself through Knight's Custom store. And the nice thing about don't report me. The nice thing about that is authorized people like myself that can print and sell. We get to print and sell this. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm in. And I started printing it. It's 36 hours of print time total, and
Holy crap.
about a spool and a half of filament.
No.
So it is beefy. So this side, this is just one bedside. And it's got doors and drawers, like the drawers come out of it. There we go. Yeah, the doors and drawers come out of it, but it is beefy. It is solid. Like, not solid, but it's a lot of infill because this on the bed, this is the bed piece. So it mounts onto the Sen F450. You keep moving me.
I know. Stand by. I'm sorry. I was trying to give you a bigger screen. Hang on.
That's okay.
I was trying to give you a bigger screen.
So yeah, it bolts to the Sen 450, F450, and the side pods bolt onto that. So you have your license plate.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh, and I think we've seen
the
one
bumper, the piece. There's a magnetic piece for the body, for the front body piece that sits against the bed, so it holds it together. There's a headache rack and all that stuff, but it's beefy. Don't get me wrong, and you can print it in PLA as long as you don't intend to take it outside on a sunny day. I print it in PETG, Bamboo's HF, and you can let it sit out in the sun all day, every day. Now, the little drawers, it's pretty cool because they're numbered on the back, 1 through 4, so you don't accidentally try and jam one in the wrong slot and get it stuck. But I was like, people like colors, so I'm going.
Hang on. Where are you? There you are.
I'm right here.
Yeah, okay, there you are. I'm trying to find the Instagram page.
You can leave it there.
All right.
These aren't on my. Yeah, these.
Oh, I went to. No, I'm on Knight's page.
Yeah. So I did different color drawers because people like different tool sets, and it's something to do while I'm waiting for these 15-hour prints.
Is that what we're dealing with as far as the bed? A solid 15, and is it one piece then, or?
So it bolts together.
Okay.
With hardware.
Yep.
I did them in red too for you Milwaukee people. But it does. It bolts together quite nicely. And this one I haven't bolted together yet because this one is up for sale. But the doors, because somebody may want to paint this, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But you can see the little relief in there, that shiny spot. That's for the little pull latches. So they're printed separately as well. The doors go on with paperclip pin style doors, and all the doors are, you know, that same style. And the doors close with mini magnets, which it has the relief. You can kind of see it in there. It's got the relief for the magnets in the doors. All that stuff is on the how-to is on the site, but you also get 10 LED pockets that go into it, as well as the clear lenses, so you can do your amber, red, and reverse lights. And this is clear PLA for the lenses. So, yeah, I got them up on my Etsy. Got one up on my Etsy store. I'm printing a second one now. But
Do we even want to know? I do. I want to know how much.
take a stab. Go ahead. How much?
All right. Okay. Printed. I'm gonna go with 150.
Calculated, I should be charging 225. I'm charging 175 because I think 225 is too high. For something
there.
that you're going to assemble, it is fair. I mean, it's a lot of material and it's 36 hours of printer time. Yeah, I'm not standing in front of my printer for 36 hours, but it's
it's material.
If I was a small child, I'd have a labor board after me. I mean, it's still something to attend to.
And it's time that printer is held up. It can't do anything else with it.
Right.
It's definitely chargeable.
Yep.
We've seen this debate plenty of times.
Yeah.
How did they set the price?
Yeah. So there's a calculator for printing stuff. And thank you, Matt. The panels, he picked up the orange set of PETG panels for his optic.
Okay.
They are amazing. That is such a bright, vibrant color. Those are new colors from Bamboo.
I did see them. I saw a photo of these orange ones.
Yeah, they are amazingly bright. The green is same. It's like a lemon or like a lime. It's just in your face green. They're pretty. I got a deep forest green, another new color coming as well. So I'm going to give those a shot. Should have that sometime early in the week. But
have you done one in the color changing filament at all?
No, because color changing filament is PLA. The translucent PETGs aren't. They're shiny, and I don't like the shiny material look. I have a couple sets here. I showed them to Matt. I don't like them. They look weird.
Oh, here, Matt sent them over. Holy crap.
Yeah, this HF material is kind of like a PLA matte texture. It's not shiny, but it's not the carbon infused, which the carbon infused is actually more brittle. And these PETG HFs tend to hold up with a good bashing a bit more. I tried to tell people that when you put carbon in something, it gets very brittle. It gets stiff, and these are crawlers, so if it's a detail part, yeah, it's fine. But body panels, yeah, not so much.
Well, I just think it's extremely cool that we got Scale by Chris and Knights Customs collaborating on a project here. It is a Sen truck. That's exciting for Sen because this will drive some excitement. The Sen truck's been out for what? This particular one's over a year.
Yeah, the 450's been out for more than a minute.
Yeah,
and actually, I have one on the way.
I was going to say you didn't have one yet, but now.
Yeah, so I'm going to give that away to the person I'm borrowing the truck from, so I can get photos and stuff like that with it mounted to the chassis. So that's very helpful. And then I don't have to buy it. I'm just donating the bed for its use, so I have a photo, so I can take photos.
That's not a new trick. Almeida used to do that all the time.
Yeah,
I would be buying up trucks like crazy and just send them over. Like, print all the shit and throw it on there.
Yeah,
take your time. Well, I'd never see the truck, but that's not a call out.
Yeah, Matt has the Sicaro, which is pretty cool. And I know he's doing trick stuff with that already. That's the Chevy, the 50s, 60s Chevy style body. That's a pretty cool truck. So Zen Racing, if you're out there, I'd like your trucks. It's just too cheap to buy one. I really don't have a use for them, but it's, for printing and stuff, it's nice to have a display.
There she is. That one's Matt's.
So there's the orange. Yeah, I'm printing his rear quarters now, but that orange just pow right in the face.
That's good stuff.
So they look good on there.
That's good stuff.
So what else we got?
So, well, you know what? Let's talk your light kit on the Taken. I think that's worth a shout out.
The lighting?
That lighting was worth a shout out. And while you go into description on that lighting, I've got something else I'm going to do here.
Let me grab it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, go grab that.
If I know what I did with it.
I can also pull it up on video. I can pull it from your Instagram page too if we need to.
I don't know what I did with it.
Well, wait. I can pull it up from your Instagram.
Things disappear in this room. Usually keep it all together.
Well, there. We'll use this. I'm gonna pull up your Instagram again. Add the stage. Nope, not that. Remove.
Anywho, it's for the light bar, the visor light bar on that particular truck. It's like a bolt-on sun visor that goes on. So there's already a built-in space for a light bar that you can buy from the manufacturer. There you go, the white lights. You can buy a light bar that drops in there and in the back, and it's a little expensive. So, I'm crafty. So on Amazon, they have a 3mm wide strip of cob lighting. So it's on a circuit board. So you don't see the little dots is basically the difference. So that cob lighting strip only being 3mm thick with self-adhesive on it is a no-brainer. I mean, it fit right in there. It's very, very slim. It fits in that trough with a wire in it, and it's flexible. So you can use it as underglow. You can do whatever you want with it. It's 12 volts, 12 to 15 volts. So, I mean, I'm going to put that crap on everything.
Right.
So, and it's waterproof. It's completely sealed in a silicone, and you can cut it to length, and you can cut it every inch. And I'm not the first one to ever use it. I know that, but I found it in 3mm. Most of them are in 5mm. That's kind of the standard. And it was only on the general website. It was only like $15. So for like 30-foot spool, like I got it forever now.
Right.
If you're talented and you have a good soldering station, you can easily solder on leads. You only need them on one end of it. So yeah. It does not get hot, Matt. I ran it all day, and it's in a printed housing. Yes, it's SLS, but it never got warm. Not at all.
Well, that's impressive because sometimes, I felt lights.
Because there's no resistor. There's no resistor on it. There's nothing's cutting voltage, which is what builds heat. And the LEDs are in a silicon membrane that the board it's all together, which is what makes it flexible. So yeah, it doesn't get hot. Yeah, I wish I could. I don't know where I put it.
Are you looking for the strip of light or the truck?
I have a whole roll.
The roll. I have the link that you sent earlier.
Just don't know where there it is. I got it. There it is. It was in the other drawer.
Good old Amazon. Good old.
Comes on this little roll.
Yep.
And it is only that thick. So it's pretty thin. This is the blind side, so it's got a little like yellow to it, and it's cob strip, 12 volt. So
So the blind juice side is yellow.
Yeah. So if I, let's see,
Oh,
I mean that's
yeah,
pretty bright,
yeah.
right? So it's definitely bright. But the only I could only find 3 millimeter in whites. I didn't find any in reds. So I'll just bide my time. If they start making it in red, I'll put a red bar on the back or something. But we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And it's self-adhesive. You don't have to glue anything. It's got sticky back on it. So sticky back it. Yeah. It's
Definitely
got a
came
pretty
out
good glow
great.
to it.
Um,
And
definitely,
the green lights are actually a yellow lens with a medium warm tone light behind it. And the clear lenses, which on here are showing as orange, are actually orange bulbs behind a clear lens. So when you mix the colors, it creates a neat effect of green and amber and white. So you know it's kind of militant color wise.
while we're here, while I have it open, there you go.
Oh yeah, there's your
That's what
Nazis.
got the party started. We were tracing the panels, and then Jeremy sent a little demo and said, "Look, it really is a
Yeah,
thing, Mike."
yeah, that's
It's
Rory Irish and um,
so
there's the step
it's official. Your Heliumon scale figure cannot get in his truck
without
without
the
that.
step.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Uh, yeah. So this week, we got a little bit of snow. There's nothing better than playing with an RC car in the snow, and there's nothing better than playing with a four-wheel steer RC car in the snow. Getting
Yep,
to make all
yep.
those lines and crab walking. Definitely had way too much fun playing with that. And when I got back, I started tinkering around on Instagram, and I have something I need to show you.
Okay.
Going to we did this once before. I stumbled across somebody cool on Instagram once before, and we
Mhm.
shared them. We're here again. You're gonna drop your jaw. Share. This is the guy. So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but just the name of the guy. He's from Indonesia. So anybody playing along at home, this is our friend.
Okay.
Gars. I'm not even going to pronounce it. Indonesia. But if you
GRC.
are okay, take it away. Thank
Yeah.
you.
GRC. That's his.
Oh, that is yeah. There's
Yeah.
GRC everywhere.
Yeah.
Um. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But listen, let me tell you, this guy, like, I don't know if this will play or not, but you can see the level of his creativity.
Hmm.
Very well drift rounded. Uh, drift oriented, I would say, with pretty much everything he posts is from the
Yeah.
drift world. But we know how scale drift is. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
these guys are scale
Yeah.
as
These
heck.
guys strive for it.
And yeah, just tons and tons of
Yeah.
very cool creative content like that. This drift car that he's flexing right here, you can scroll all the way back through step by step how he got to here. You know, this didn't happen overnight. He goes through step by step how he painted it, the clear coat, the whole process. Very cool. I think
Yeah. When you start going down a rabbit hole with some of the scale
guys,
builders overseas, you start running into like the possibility of shrink rays comes up. Like how do you make it look like that without actually driving it through mud or aging it, you know, 30 or 40 years? It's yeah.
I got impressed. I mean, if you take a look, Jeremy, at the backdrop,
Hmm.
I don't think this is AI. I truly
No,
think
that's a scale garage.
I think it's a scale garage, but down to his paintings on the wall have accent backlighting on it. I
Hmm.
mean, the dude really put some time in this thing.
Yep.
There is No doubt.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, pretty cool. I always like to share when we come across somebody different doing his thing.
Yeah.
You would let me do one more. So last one. This guy got inspired. Here you go, Jeremy. This is Oracle
Hmm.
651. You're very familiar with this.
Yeah.
He's making his own
Pinstripe.
pinstriping. Bro, I promise you, my pinstriping would not come out like that. A sharp knife, strong straight line. Like, bro, bravo.
Yeah.
Takes it one step further once he starts dropping. His sticker's the one here. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. I just wanted to show you. For you people who hate stickers, he does a clear coat over top of it at the very end. Oh, this is him doing the spoiler. Well, I'm not going to spoil it either for
Yeah.
y'all, but there it is. That's him. For your enjoyment, go check him out, especially if you are into
Yeah.
scale, especially if you
Waste.
were in scale. Go
Yeah.
enjoy.
Way scale stuff.
Very and that tied in very nicely to Hillamon with the sidestep. That was the scalest thing I seen all week until today, until I
Keep it
came
scale.
across him.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Keep it scale.
Yeah, we got my Trick RC had a sale on the CJ, so now I've got to get on the CJ with their light kit. We'll see how complicated this
You
is.
you notice that slot is empty?
No, don't say it isn't true.
CJ
You
go bye-bye.
no way.
Yep.
Wow.
The
With that
purge
interior,
the purge has begun.
the purge has begun.
And it's
Wow.
not a purge on a bad thing. I just need to slim down my collection of things I just don't use anymore. I've
But the,
enjoyed them.
no,
I've
wait,
created.
Jeremy, the CJ didn't even have a chance to get cold yet. Like
Yeah,
that, you
I,
just set it down. Like,
I ran it at Badlands last year. Like,
no. I
it,
mean, redo with the interior. You
yeah,
just
yeah,
blew it apart with the
yeah.
super scale
Yeah.
interior.
Pass it on.
It
No, the
didn't
Ripper.
even.
The Ripper is still here. It's not leaving. There's a couple trucks that aren't leaving, but there are quite a few trucks that should leave. So
Yeah, and the ones you're willing to part with are very cool.
yeah, yeah. They're you know, it's my thing, right? Build them up, max them out, play with them, put them on a shelf, wait for the next opportunity to play with it again.
I'm way too emotional. I'm way too
Yeah,
emotionally invested. I
and
can't.
that's how I ended up with as many as I have is emotional attachments, and I gotta knock it off. Like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think the best advice anyone ever gave me was like, do not emotionally get
yeah.
attached.
And the new owner, Matt said that the new owner loves it, so that's good.
Is it
Good,
him? Wink,
good to
wink.
hear.
I gotta know. Is it Matt?
No, it's not
Oh,
Matt. He brokered it, but it's not him.
okay. Well, somebody is very, very lucky. There was a lot of love.
There's a
And
lot
you,
of truck there.
yeah,
There's a lot of truck there.
and a lot of firsts. You were out ahead
Yeah,
of the curve with the CJ doing a lot of cool things
yeah.
out,
That was the
out of the box.
first VFD swap into that chassis. Um, First trail production axles for that
The,
chassis.
the proof is in the YouTube. Go to
Yeah,
Addie's
go back and
RC.
watch the
Go back and
YouTube.
watch it, man.
And
That's where
that's
it's at.
and that's the greatest thing, right? Is I've recorded all these trucks, so I can go look at them anytime I want.
Anytime you want,
Yeah,
it's there for you forever in the cloud,
yeah,
in the space that is the inner web.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, that is a great reminder to like, comment, and share on both sides. It's what helps out here. We stressed on it last week, the value of it, and I think the next thing that we picked up for this show, I think we have a couple of SCX 24s that we can give away to anybody on here. But I think the easiest way to do these giveaways right now is to a subscriber. So for us to pick a lucky subscriber, must be what? Subscribe.
yeah.
That is the simplest thing here that
Yep.
we ask for. You subscribe, we will pick a lucky winner from there. Once we get the SCX-24 shipped to us, we
Yeah.
get them
So
dispersed.
so us getting SCX-24 as a giveaway means that we must have treated Matt Higgins very well,
Yes,
and he enjoyed the show, and Axial in turn probably enjoyed the show. So
full blessing and support to
cool,
help
very
us
cool.
move along, and
Yeah.
there's no better way to help us is to share it with you all.
Yep.
We
Yep.
don't need it. We're thinning the herd. We're going to
Yeah.
share it with
Oh,
you.
yeah. All the micros except for that one, the 18, the Red Cat.
Yep.
All of them are available. So,
Okay. Wow.
and that includes the Defender with 2 bodies,
And you're referring to the yellow one,
the yellow and the white
Defender.
one. Yeah. So if you're looking for a one-off
Yeah.
TRX4M, that one right there, it's pretty cool.
Well, have you begun posting them up individually yet on any
Yeah,
of the
on some of the
micro
Facebook
sites?
pages.
Okay.
The Zool is up. The TRX4Ms are up. The Axial SCX-24 right there. The Mius Bronco, that one's up.
Did you have a Betty, a CX-24?
I got rid of that a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. The cab over TRX4M, Matt. Yeah, both of them. It's both bodies, one chassis. You can swap them back and forth.
You were going to make a lot of people happy. It's always exciting when one of yours is released into the wild.
Yeah, and they're most of those little ones are all prototype parts that were field tested for trail, or their final fitment units that have very little runtime on them. And I care for my stuff. I don't beat my stuff up, so they might have 1 or 2 scratches on the pumpkin because I'm such a good driver.
I think
Matt will disagree because he's seen me out on the trail jumping stuff for no reason whatsoever.
I'm like, yeah, we could pull up some evidence.
Yeah, there's evidence on the internet that I'm
the other
talking out my butt. No, I'm not giving away my Ripper tonight. No, that's not happening.
But yeah, thank you to everyone that helps this move along week after week. Can't have a guest every week. This is a week to recap.
We need to catch up. We got a lot of projects rolling.
Exactly.
Me finishing up this one and finishing up the C303. The Rift, the Trail Rift is next. I'm still working on Brock's
styrene
project.
That is a project. Man, that styrene thing you're doing for Brock is impressive.
Yeah, so it's a little rough right now. It's a little scaly, but so if you haven't seen it, Boone Racing released a canvas top for the 109 Series 3, and it is fantastic. Like, a lot of people have been looking for these. So it's an actual sewn canvas top to put on that truck, full length.
Found it.
The one for the 88 is coming, but Mr. LaRouche wanted, there it is. Good job. It was quick. Mr. LaRouche wanted a hard top 109, and they don't make that. So he asked me to create one for him. So I created one for him. So we have a hard top. The top fence will be filled in. But yeah, it's filled in solid. It's the length for the 109, fits right on the body. So I'm in finishing stages. So it's all the filler is in. It just needs to be final sanded, and then I can put it in high build primer and get it smoothed out, and then I can get it painted when the weather breaks. So Yeah, the base camp jump was good. That was, yeah, good times. I smiled when I saw it when he first posted.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Now wait, is that? Hopefully that's not live. Holy crap! My Instagram wall was the same way. Not for public. Holy crap!
What's that?
And my Instagram wall, I just backed out of there, and I
Oh,
said that was not for public viewing
yeah.
either.
When you use the search
Oh,
feature in Instagram, yeah, do not have that on
whoa!
the screen.
Yeah, yikes! I'm like,
Oh,
what is this? What did I just click on?
oh, old man of Mountain RC, um, body mounts for the Plague. Yeah, I got them in every color too. So if you're still looking for Plague body mounts, I got them. They're on the Etsy store. You're very welcome. Thanks for the business, and I'm glad they came at the same time. That's really cool. So nice, nice. I'm starting to learn where some of these, like the area of where these people are now. So I've shipped to most of the people in here, and I got my shipping game on track. I got on point. So I got a thermal printer.
Okay.
I'm doing my own shipping,
Yep. Yep.
doing my own pickup calls.
Yep.
So
I
like
I will
I'm
tell you, I got a box today from you, and I was very impressed.
didn't
It
it look
was,
good?
bro, it was squared away. Um, I, bro, I even opened it. Okay, I don't have it here. I opened it from the other side. I didn't even want to cut the tag.
You want to cut the tag?
Yeah, I cut it from
Yeah.
the bottom. It was that, like, how bad is that, dude? I noticed it right away. I'm like, wow, it's solid. Like nothing shook around. It was all locked in there, sturdy. You can ship anything you want to me anytime
Yeah.
because that was going to.
And
You
it,
can ship eggs to me, and I
yeah.
think they're not going to break.
At the rate that I'm shipping, so if I start to calculate in more costs, right? And this is part of the formulary for how much does printed stuff cost, right? So you got the printer time, you got the printer maintenance, you got the filament, you got my time, and then you got gas going to the post office, packaging materials, all like it all adds up. And on the Plague body mounts, I have to pay Reef for every one of those that I print because
Well,
he doesn't have a way for me to buy the file
like James
or
Knight
like
does.
James does.
Okay.
So every time I print one of those, I pay him, and that's retail on his end because he has to pay the person that made it, that designed it, right? So he makes $1, that other guy makes the $2, and I'm paying for it. So that comes out of the cost, and I'm not charging much for them. So I was making like I don't know, like 75 cents on a Plague body mount set.
Are we gonna? I think we're gonna see a Reefs and Knights Customs collab next. Honestly, I think that's
Well,
why Chris
it
did this.
like it would make sense,
Yeah.
right?
Why would Scale by Chris reinvent the wheel? He could
Right,
collab with him, like let this streamline.
right, right. And that helps us subscribers because we
Oh,
have more
inventory.
more availability to do niche stuff, right? So I'm not like a Send 450
Yep.
guy. I'm a crawler guy, so I gravitate toward the crawler stuff that
You, you know
James does.
what is an important point though? Yeah, the Knights custom stuff gets extremely popular with the current. But dude, also scroll back into the
Oh yeah,
inventory. There's early day stuff, high lift and the rotopacks. There's the other crap
yeah.
there that is very usable
Hmm.
on many platforms. So if they're coming to you on your Etsy page to print something, they can
Yeah,
scroll back. Like it doesn't have to be current.
yeah,
You can print anything in that inventory, correct?
yeah. And Harold, I see his comment. He's gotten stuff before that wasn't great.
Oh,
The beauty is that working with James
yep.
and getting files cleaned up and ready for production style printing makes all the difference in the world. So to get things this smooth and this accurate, and this is my 15-hour print, right? This is the long print. It's these two side by side on a print bed. and it's 15 hours. And to trust, it's a lot of trust.
It looks like a collab. You can get a taste of what Chris brought and how James
Yeah.
brought this across the finish line.
Yeah.
We can totally
So
agree with Harold. I know what he's saying.
yeah.
It looks
Yeah, he
great.
has the military buggy kit. That one's pretty cool. It's pretty intense.
Oh yeah.
The same with the Sand Scorcher kit
Yep.
into the Manx Myers
Oh,
thing. That's pretty intense. Brock is doing one of them now. But it's those
they're
aren't things that you do in a hurry.
correct.
They're not. They're projects that should take you quite some time to really nail them. Not hurried.
And that's the point. Like
It's not
it.
it's not putting uh a blown V8 in your uh, Fordyce, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's not that.
they're
It's
complex.
yeah, it's very
They're
complex.
yeah. These are the ones to take your time. Speaking of that, kudos to RC every day. Holy crap! Did you
Yeah,
see Josh's engine bay come to life in his boom?
yep,
Bravo!
yep. Using his Celsius water to fill the tanks on his BRX02 88 engine bay. Did you see that? Did you
Uh,
notice it?
no, hang on.
It was a Celsius bottle, and he was pulling the syringe out of the Celsius, putting it in the brake fluid reservoir. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I
The
used I used lemonade, sugar-free lemonade powder mix, so I was able to get pinks, yellows, and mix them to make an orange.
oh,
Yeah.
I just can't believe. Okay, that yeah, I guess the pink lemonade does get it dark enough. I don't know. I was going towards food coloring, but I
Well,
guess
food
you're not
coloring
good.
will stain. It'll stain that plastic.
You want
So you
that?
gotta
Yes,
you gotta watch how
subtle.
acidic things are. To
Fair enough.
it'll turn it that color. All the plastic will turn that color. The lemonade mix that I used was pretty light, and it's not acidic. Yeah, there you go. And it hasn't stained it, and it's staying in. It's not eating the plastic or anything. Yeah, he did a killer job on that, and I love that he shouts out like when he calls and says, "Hey, man, how do I do this? What am I doing wrong?"
He knows.
Uh, he'll give me the shout out on his video that he had to
Thank you
he
to
had to phone a
Jeremy for
friend.
getting. Yeah. Well, listen, you've seen and had your hands on more boom trucks than most, and that is a very fair statement right there.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, and for some reason, like
Don't
he
sleep on
just
boom racing. Don't sleep on
at
boom
all
racing. They are moving, dude. There's
moving. I think
there
that's an
is a
understatement.
there's a lot of stuff coming for these trucks.
Bro,
A lot of stuff.
I yeah, and I can't say it. I was like sworn to secrecy, uh, but it's definitely boom related in 2026. I think your answer or statement of "don't sleep on them." I promise
Mm-mm.
you, yeah, it looks like the
No.
future is very bright for boom.
Yeah.
And you know what else is? It's completely embraced by the recon. Uh, so for all you G6ers out
Mhm.
there, this is
Oh,
your boom racing playground. Um,
and
yeah,
and what a segue. Like let's jump from
do it.
boom trucks embraced by Recon G6,
Yep,
and let's go to the biggest news story of the week.
do it.
Axial Fest Europe.
Oh,
As
shit.
soon as I saw the destination of Austria, I was like, Brian Parker, he is going to run Axial Fest Europe. And sure enough, there it is. So that's pretty significant. He draws a crowd in Europe. And you want to talk about some scale stuff being crazy. Look at those European builders. I mean,
Bravo. This is where you're getting those Land Rovers, your D110s, Camel Trophy trucks in a
now
row, where you're getting 12 of them like
and
in a
and
parade.
I want to see how they embrace the brand Axial into that super scale world. Like this little Volvo thing, right? I'm running axial axles and a VS410 chassis for a reason. It's Axial Fest legal. So I can take that truck to Axial Fest and it passes tech because it's using their chassis geometry and it's using their axles. So it's a no-brainer for me. Are they going to do that? What is that going to look like uh, over in Austria? What does Axial look like overseas? And I can't wait to see the pictures and the feedback from that event just to see what shows up. And I'm not expecting it to be thousands of people,
Right, right, right.
but I'm expecting to see what their take is on the brand and what they're creating.
And I think that's a fair statement. I think a lot of the scale stuff that I've geeked out on over there, I don't even recognize what the hell the truck was. Like, what are
Yeah,
they doing this on? Like,
I wouldn't
what?
want to be the tech guy because like sometimes you just don't know what you're looking at because they make shit like they machine stuff. Like
You look for the axial sticker and
yeah,
slap it.
they
Go
they
ahead,
got they got
have fun.
2-year-olds running lathes in the back room, like, and that's where they're learning. Like they're building their own hydraulic cylinders and stuff. So it's where all the dump trucks are born, all the scale stuff. That's all. It's all that was all German brand started, like workshop stuff.
Really is super scale stuff that comes out. Very cool. Very super scale stuff coming out of there. So taken, you showed that thing off. I think we've come around full circle here.
Yeah.
I think
My John Deere failed. The axle, the drivetrain that I chose did not work. It failed miserably. So I'm back to the drawing board on that project. I think I might back burner that one for quite a while, and see what happens.
yeah, it's not like you're building a snowblower. I mean, you're talking about cutting grass.
Well,
Slow down.
it's an articulated dual axle that has to move all four wheels have to move independently. They all have to be motorized. Otherwise, it won't steer. Because you can't depend on a steering servo to articulate the center without a differential in a truck in that size. I mean, you're talking something that's this wide. I mean, it's huge. It's duals. It's true 10th scale John Deere. So I was a little undersized on my transmission selection. So I got to try again.
He's human, people. He is human.
Yep. I'm not an engineer. I'm an electrical engineer, not a mechanical engineer.
You know what? I'm gonna put in here.
We're back to Frogger.
Yes, I was. That's he brought me back to Frogger. I wanted to see if he sent a photo of that thing. But yes, I think Jeremy, Matt, there's a handful of you all that have put the call out. I'd say the last 3-4 years, I've heard it from the rooftops, from the mountainside, asking these RC companies to listen up. We need more channel radios. Not your throttle, not your stick controller, not you 14 scale guys, whatever you're working out. I had Fly Skies all hacked.
Yeah.
In
So
the past, like a legit and reasonably priced. I don't want anybody coming out here and commenting about a Futaba 7 channel that's $1,000 or something.
so there are cheap Fly Sky and Fry Sky and all these
And
other
they can be
skies.
hacked.
But man, why is it got to be so hard? Like why do I have to have a degree in
I literally sent mine to
coding
PowerShip
to be able to use these radios?
I had Baskins like crack it and make it that it would do more channels.
Yeah.
But it is complicated. Even once you get the thing set up, it's like what MO3 dash what?
Why is it
You're
got to be so
looking at a
hard?
chart. You're trying to transfer over, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
So I'm kind of mad about this.
Okay.
You see my rugged.
Yep.
This is my six channel rugged. You know who doesn't make a 6-channel Surface receiver?
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's tee this up. Spectrum
Spectrum.
doesn't make a 6-channel receiver for their
I've
six,
I
six
have
channel
3 radios now
transmitter.
that are 6-channel. There's a number 6 right on the side of the dang radio. And you know what it won't do? Run 6 channels. I don't understand. I I'm looking right at it and I don't understand it. It's not there. So what are they doing? Now they release a 10, an IXR, XIR, whatever that IR thing is with the X on it.
We're
That's
all rugged
that
6-channel. We're all rugged.
no, this is a 5
Okay.
and the new one is the 6.
I have a 5.
Now, what is nice is they finally released SLT2 protocol, SLT protocol. So I've updated all of my radios that'll take the update, so I can run SLT receivers. I can bind them to this radio now. So the minis, the micros, the whatever trucks are out there, the SLT protocol is now on my radios. So I can throw away those little dinky toy radio things. They're fine for what they are,
Bravo.
but yeah.
But yeah, I
But
know
man,
plenty of micro guys that were begging for that to get
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bravo.
So we're hey Spectrum, where's my 6-channel receiver? And don't think I don't have receivers. I'm a Spectrum guy. I like Spectrum. I answer Spectrum questions all day long. I got a drawer full of receivers, and I don't understand. Ugh. Let's look at this one. SRS 6000. You would think that is a 6-channel receiver, right? It's got ports. It's got
Yeah.
like 7 ports on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One is a bind battery only, no channel. The other one is a disable channel. Come on. Give me a break. Just give me 10 channels, man. Let me bridge 2 5-channel receivers, for God's sake. Please let me. I digress.
No, it's fair enough.
Yes, Matt, that works with the all-in-one ESC receiver combos. That is the SLT protocol. So you can download the software. You need a USB to USB-C. It plugs right into the back of it. As long as you register on Spectrum, you don't have to give them credit card info, but you got to give them life history and a blood test. But they'll let you log in and you can download the software. It's actually pretty easy. It works. But yeah, you can, all those little Grom things, you can put them all on one of these radios. Well, you might not be able to. You might need 2 of these radios. You'll run out of model memory. He's got a couple.
These the radio war and the dilemma, it's not really the radio that's the problem for many. It's the amount of receivers that you're going to need. And the reason I got locked up here, I had the Futaba 4PV, which was a $400 radio. You get locked in that world. Then the Rugged comes, and you get locked in that world. And then Traxxas comes out with their ability to bind to an iPhone. And I'm like, all right, now I start down that rabbit hole. And then Fly Sky. And before you know it, you have this array of receivers. Half the trucks are on this one, and half are on the other.
I have no affiliation with any radio people, right? I bought all these radios. No affiliation with any radio people. I can tell you right now, Traxxas is not asleep on their almost 15-year-old radios.
Yeah.
Right?
TQI.
They must have got a deal like Tamiya got on their battery plugs, right? Like, I only need 100,000 of them. Well, I accidentally gave you 100 million of them. So you just got to use them up. So they're using them all up. And I think they're the next one to release a multi-channel radio system for their ready-to-run fleet. Like, I feel like it's coming. If it's not Traxxas, it's somebody soon. but Traxxas is the oldest radio, ready to run radio system out there. And that one is like programming with Tetris blindfolded, because you're pushing 6 buttons at the same time and trying to turn shit on. Like, where's
Listening
that
for
extra?
beeps and watching
Like,
flashes.
how many? Like, it requires 2 small children and an adult to supervise programming a radio endpoint in a Traxxas radio. So
Funny side note though, if you Google how to bind a Traxxas receiver to its radio, like the most watched video on the internet's got like 14 million views on it. It's the top one at the top, and it's literally wrong. It is a video of how to bind a radio, and it's flat out freaking wrong. It's hilarious that
why
people
get
continue to
aggravated.
click on it. It just keeps getting bumped to the top, and it's like some 10-year-old kid who like
Yeah.
uploaded a YouTube video all wrong. It's hilarious.
That's awesome. But yeah, it's like this radio stuff. Something's going to give, right? I mean, Spectrum went down their road with Android again. Probably not the best move. I don't need, no offense, Matt, but I don't need to play video games. I don't need to watch YouTube. I don't need to do those things on the radio.
But it is cool.
And
It
you
is
make
cool.
here's my other sticking point. Hey, Spectrum. You made a rugged radio. Who'd you make it for? Crawlers? People that are outdoors in the wet weather?
Yep.
You know what we don't need? Racing protocols as the defaults. We don't need it. We're never going to use it. And you know what? It takes us 20 minutes to delete that crap off of this radio so I can use it in a fucking 10 scale crawler.
What it was made for. Literally made for.
Why has it got a racing protocol? Why can't I hook this up to my iPhone and program endpoints?
Oh.
Why can't I Bluetooth to my phone?
Why not?
Why can't I do that? You sell me a $600 or $700 radio, that Spectrum with an Android in it, still can't talk to my phone.
Yeah.
I got to plug it into a PC to update it. Come on.
But you can get a
Come on.
You can get $100 radio on Amazon from China.
I need a $50 radio that I can program with a cell phone.
Yeah.
And I've
No,
done
I
it.
get it.
But
yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, it's a very fair gripe, and the call needs to be answered, and they know it. But where is
you do know it?
They know it.
I send a guy at Spectrum a message once a week.
You send them an update every week. Hey,
yeah.
Here to poke the bear.
Still waiting on that 6-channel receiver.
Where is?
Still waiting.
Oh.
My fear is that when they release it, it's going to be $85 because the 5-channel is $65.
Right.
So they're going to.
They keep going up.
Break it off in you.
No. That would be a fear. But that was my other request, Jeremy, was send us a 7-8-channel radio that's not $1,000. Yeah. Like 10-channel radio.
Yeah.
That's like not $1,000.
Like, the one that Matt showed me, the Muse, it's $50, and the receivers are like less than 20.
What was the other one?
Channels.
What was that other one? The radio was
the Radio Master MT12.
No.
The 4
RC Girl had it like a little bit ago. It was like an 8-channel popped up. Radio. Matt probably knows it. I remember he was talking
the
about
Noble.
One point. What? Not the Noble. No, it was somebody else. Like the brand was known, but they threw out this one 8-channel radio that came along. Let's see if somebody throws it.
As long as it's not a GT5.
No,
there isn't a worse radio out there, in my opinion. That thing, it's a servo killer. It's got such high latency that the servos can't react, and they'll go hard lock because the latency rate is too high. It's such a poorly built transmitter. Thing's terrible.
What was the GT5 coming with? That was with the SCX-10.3, right? That's
no. GT5. That's FlySky GT5.
Oh, what was the one?
It's terrible radio. They're like $49 on Amazon, and there's a reason.
What came with the, oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah, I don't know who that other one was.
Yeah, the SLT3. That's actually a good radio. The Spectrum radio. Oh, the Gen 8 X came with that radio, the GT5.
That's what it was. That thing.
Terrible radio.
Oh, anyway.
All right. Well, it's almost
Thank you.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Time to go. Go check on my son. Make sure everything's good. We're gonna go do our thing. So, Jeremy, any plans this week? Anything big to look out for? YouTube wise, or you just got yourself on lock?
I have the video coming tomorrow.
All right.
The rest of my week is I have puppy surgery on Friday, so everything is get ready for puppy surgery on Friday, and get my puppy back to the house safe. And then the week after that is
Okay. I didn't even know there was puppy surgery happening. Okay.
Yeah, she tore Bella, the healer. She tore her ACL, so she's got to get surgery. She's too young to let it go and let her limp on 3 legs. It's not fair. So,
you have veterinary insurance? Is the $1 million question?
I wish I did, but I do not. So it's expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Cha-ching! You will. You'll get it next time.
We're going to Delaware to get it done, so it's cheaper. But at least Maryland doesn't get to tax my dog's surgery. Tax everything else.
Dude, yeah, I'm getting very fired up with taxes and the car inspection. We're paying out the nose every direction right now.
Yeah. Just beating us up right now. Just hang in there. We'll get there. As we complain about 6-channel radio receivers. So.
Listen to our problems. Life is so bad, people. We get that.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
I played with toy trucks today. Today was a good day.
Right? You got to play with trucks all day. You're hanging out on a Saturday night, still talking toy trucks.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to grow up? You were still playing with toys.
I hope not. I still want to play with toys.
Still playing with toys. All right. Well, let's do this. We're going to figure out, and we'll end it this way. Peace out. Like I said, everybody subscribe, play along, and we'll give you an end. We're going to kind of just disappear on you.